Kingdom family, what's up? We're back! We are back. I am so excited and so honored to be with you all today. For those of you all who are joining our community brand new, who are just coming in, my name is Justin Michael Williams. I am so honored and excited to be here with you. This is the kingdom. This is the kingdom, and kingdom is like spiritual church for everyone. And we believe here that all beliefs are welcome, all biologies are welcome. We believe that we can come together across every divide to stand in our power, to rise together. And in today's session, we are covering something really incredible called the power of the real you. The power of the real you. And the question that we come to in this is, who are you? Who are you, really? And we're going to dig into this in a pretty deep way today, and I'm so excited to be with you all here on Easter Sunday. For those of you who are celebrating on Resurrection Day, we resurrected the kingdom today on purpose on a very special day today. And I just want to, first of all, take a moment here to welcome back our amazing community. Hold on. Yes, there we go. I just want to welcome our amazing community, and I want to make sure you all can hear me. So type in where you're coming in from. And I see you. Oh my gosh. Hello, Cheryl and Stephanie and Devin. And I just want to check in with everybody to make sure you can hear me okay. Wanda, Kalani, Clara, June. My mom is here. Kate is here. Elka's here. Everybody's here. Cheryl's here. Look at us. Michael's here. Fetta's here. Allison's here. Stacy's here. This is amazing. So I'm just confirming, if somebody could type into the chat box, I can hear you, I can see you, then I'll know everything is working and y'all got me. And then I will continue on with our lesson today. Yes. Great. Amazing. Perfect. All right, everybody. I love you. So we are jumping in now to today's session. And because I know there are a lot of brand new people coming in to the kingdom right now, I want to, before we get into this, who are you, just talk a little bit about our format of the kingdom here. And we begin each session with a poem or music or a song or some form of art. And there'll be a lot more with music that I'll be sharing with you all soon. We will then do a prayer to begin our session. And at each moment that we do our prayer, I'll kind of bring through a prayer, but then I'll leave about 60 seconds of silence for you to do your own personal prayer. And then after we do the prayer, we go all the way in to our teaching. We do a practice. You have a golden nugget and an action to take away in your life so that you can take this power into your life. You know, one of the things that I always loved about church growing up was that you feel inspired and you feel this sense of awe and beauty and connectedness and community. But then you go back into your car and start cussing out your kids, right? So then you go back and you're just doing the same stuff again. And so I try to look at, how do we take these philosophical teachings, these teachings about life that come from many wisdom traditions, and integrate them into our experience of being alive. And this is what the kingdom is really all about as we all come together, okay? As we all come together. And so, before we get into the prayer, before we get into the whole thing, I have a couple announcements to make that I'm very excited to share with you all. Hello, Mary Teresa. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Evie. So, first of all, this is the Kingdom 2.0, okay? So this is the Kingdom 2.0. I'm going to turn the music off for this one so y'all can really hear me, because our team has been working really hard to create and set up a process and a system that helps us deepen our experience of the kingdom here in our resurrection, in our season 2 of this journey together. And so the first thing that I want to announce, and I'm going to put a link in the chat box for this right now, is soul study. So what you all know is the kingdom, just remember, the kingdom now is every other Sunday. So we have a week off in between. Why? Because my travel schedule has picked up. It's not realistic for us to be able to really do this every week. But I wanted to make sure we had something that brought us together at least twice a month. So the kingdom is every other Sunday. Now, every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to have what's called Soul Study. And this is your chance to come together with community. It's going to be on Zoom. So we go into breakout rooms. We're going to deepen our experience so that you can take the lessons from the kingdom into your life. You're going to be able to meet people from all over the world in this community and come together in this space of connection with practical action. And these sessions are going to be led by some of our amazing community leaders, and it's totally free. You just come every Wednesday night and enjoy. It's not recorded, so you have the ability and permission there to just be yourself, be free, be vulnerable, be real, and most importantly, bring these teachings into your life in a way that brings practical action. So we'll take each lesson, expand on it in Soul Study, and for those of you who are experienced with doing a little deeper study, you'll see how this deepens your experience. So I'm putting the link in the chat box right now to Soul Study, and you will see the link there. It's just justinmichaelwilliams.com/soul study, and I'll make sure that an email gets out to you about this soon as well. Now, the second thing that I want to mention that is incredibly important, dun, 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 drum roll please, is about the Kingdom Choir. The Kingdom Choir! Y'all, we are going to have a choir officially for the kingdom that all of you can be a part of virtually, no matter where you live in the world, no matter what your singing experience is like. We're going to be creating new songs, and you all are going to be the choir to this. And we're going to keep it going, and it's going to grow, and we're building into something kind of big with this that I'm not going to announce just yet. But you're welcome to come in, even if you feel like I can't sing or I'm not used to singing. Like, we have so much support for you. And this is going to be getting started over the next month. And we're going to be starting on our first song together this month. So if you're somebody who wants to sing, who's always wished you could sing, who's trying to express your voice, or who just wants to come together in a community in a way that gives you the chance to actually be on songs that can be recorded. We're going to release the songs on Spotify, and you will be on them as the Kingdom Choir. And this is going to be an amazing experience. The brothers Corin will be joining us, but we also have some other amazing special guests who will be leading the Kingdom Choir that I will be talking to you about more soon. So if you want to join the Kingdom Choir, I am putting a link in the chat box to a Google form where you will just fill out your information on the form, and we will contact you within the next couple of weeks to tell you how to participate. And if you're watching the recording of this, I'll make sure everything's in the chat box for you so you can see it. And I will also make sure that if you're watching it on YouTube or somewhere else, or you're listening to the podcast, that all of the information about the Kingdom Choir is in the description of this episode. So I told you, we're taking this to the next level. We weren't playing around. Now, my last announcement today, and then we're going to finally get started. I have a lot of announcements today going, is we are actually hiring our community. The Dream Bigger Foundation and the community is hiring a communications director. And this communications director is going to be responsible for making sure that all the people in our incredible, loving community are able to be spoken to and loved, because we have so many people coming in, and we want to make sure that messaging is getting to everybody. Think about it, like the choir has to get organized, and the soul study has to get organized, and the emails, and the kingdom, and the this and the that. So if this is you, or it's somebody that you know, you need to be a really good writer, an incredible writer, know a bit about marketing, and launching online products and programs and courses, and have a full heart of integrity and love working with an incredible team that wants to make a big impact in the world. And so we are looking to hire a communications director. It'll be a part-time virtual role, and you'll join our team. We already are 8 people working on this team. There's a lot of people that go behind the scenes into making all of this happen. And if this is you, then all I want you to do is send an email to hello@justinmichaelwilliams.com. That's hello@justinmichaelwilliams.com. And so without further ado, everybody, let's get started into today's session. And as I said, we start every single session with some music or song. And I want to welcome to the Kingdom stage my brother. I'm going to scoot over so you can get in here. Theo of Entheo. Everybody say hi to Theo. Give Theo some love. Hi. What's up? This is Theo. Everybody, so Theo and I have been here. I'm actually in Theo's recording studio right now. And we have been here for the whole week working on a whole bunch of new music and just having an incredible time together. And so I thought, who better to bring to the Kingdom stage today than Theo to do our opening song. So Theo, I don't know if you want to say anything before we start.
I mean, this is just amazing. I can't believe I get to collaborate with you. You're such a powerful and inspiring being, and I just love what you're doing in the world, and thank you for having me on.
Well, Theo's a part of the family now, y'all, so you're going to be seeing much more of Theo around. And we are going to do, this month, while we're getting the choir together, I thought we would do a song that I know that many of you know, which is, hold on, you're to see here. If you take a guess, I Am Enough. And I think it goes really well with our theme for the day because we're learning about who we really are, right? And going in this concept of I am enough and really understanding that we are enough will make a big difference in our experience of reality together. And so as we sing this song together, I'm going to put some slides up on the screen. Give me a second to actually make a little adjustment because I'm going to have to make this such that Theo and I can be on here together. So hold on. Yeah, there we are. And then Theo and I will hang out down here. And y'all will get all the lyrics to I Am Enough here.
Just like church.
Just like church, but better. Okay, I got to make us a little bit smaller. Okay, Theo and I are going to be small down here. So we will have the lyrics here for you to sing along, and I want you to think of this as a prayer. And the reason we're also singing this is we have a dance remix to I Am Enough that Theo actually made coming out next Friday, and a new music video that you will all be a part of, and we'll talk about that more soon. All right, everybody. Hey, Alex. So, I Am Enough. Sing it from your heart, y'all. Little boy, don't cry. You've been in pain enough now. Little girl, don't fight. You're finally safe enough. One day I'll look into your eyes, show you you don't need to hide behind disguise no more. Spread your wings, you're terrified. Don't be afraid, you're born to fly. I'm by your side. I am enough. I am golden, baby. I am enough. Sing it. I am enough. Oh, I am enough. Oh, I am golden, baby. I am enough, hey, I am enough, ooh, oh, yeah, I am enough, I am enough, ooh, oh, yeah, I am enough, I am enough. Verse 2, come on. Little girl, it's alright. You've taken the blame. Enough, no. Little boy, don't hide. You've been ashamed. Enough. One day I'll look into your eyes, show you you don't need to hide behind disguise no more. Spread your wings, you're terrified. Don't be afraid, you're born to fly. I'm by your side. You better sing along. Come on. I am enough. Hey, I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough for your heart. Come on. I am enough. Oh, I am golden, baby. I am enough. I am enough. Oh, feel it. Come on. Ooh, oh, yeah. I am enough. Hey, I am enough.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh, oh, yeah. I am enough. I am enough. Break it down. You are enough. You are golden, baby. You are enough. You are enough. All right, here's what I want y'all to do, all right? I want you to type into the chat box somebody's name that you love, somebody that doesn't even have to be here, and type like, Joe, you are enough. John, you are enough. Send a prayer to somebody out in the world. Come on, together. You are enough for them. Come on. You are golden, baby. You are enough. Come on, one person's name. You can add another person if you want. Come on, from your heart. You are enough. Oh, you are golden, baby. You are enough. All right, Kingdom family, for all of us together, we are enough. Come on, here we go. We are enough. Hey, we are golden, baby. We are enough. This is our moment.
We are enough.
This is our time. We are enough.
Yeah.
Oh, we are golden, baby. We are enough. We are enough. Everybody, come on. Ooh, oh,
Yeah.
I am enough. We are enough. No. Ooh, oh, yeah. We are enough. We are enough. Break it down. I am enough for your heart. I am golden, baby. I am enough. Sing it like a prayer for yourself. I am enough. Put your hands over your heart. Feel it in your heart. I am enough.
I am golden, baby.
You can tap on your heart just to wake up that power in you. I am enough. Oh. Ooh, oh, yeah. I am enough. I am enough. You are enough. You are golden, baby. You are enough. You are enough. We are enough. We are golden, baby. We are enough. I don't know why I feel like building it up one more time. We are enough. Come on. Everybody, one more. We are enough. Hey! We are golden, baby. We are enough. I had to. Come on, everybody. We are enough. Kingdom family, we're back. Hey, we are enough. We are golden, baby. We are enough. We are enough. The last one, just say it in your mind. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your heart and send love from this community, from this kingdom, out into the whole world as we ripple out from all over the world. Our kingdom community is built of people of 42 countries around the globe. Feel us connected. We are enough. Feel it in your heart.
Thank you, brother.
Yo, I told y'all. Here we are, Kingdom family. All right.
Thanks for having me
Thanks
on.
Thanks for coming, Theo. Theo will come back at the end. We're singing again at the end.
All right.
And you're magical, brother. Thank you.
Love you, man.
I'll see you soon. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
He's gonna go Easter egg hunt with his son now in between on the kingdom, so this will be fun. All right, family. Here we are, kingdom family. Let me get these slides back together. So now that we have sung our hearts out, and I hope you were singing at home, give me just a second to pull this back to how it's supposed to be. All right, Kingdom family. So now that we have pulled this experience back in and we have activated with power, it's time to do our prayer. So here at the Kingdom, the way that we do our prayer is you just place your hands right over the center of your chest, one hand over the other. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and just drop in to the power of your own heart. And we begin. God, Spirit, Universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, by every name you go by, we thank you. Thank you for bringing the Kingdom back. Thank you for this incredible community from all over the world, and for all the new people who are just joining us. May they feel welcome into our family. Thank you for all the new iterations of the Kingdom that will connect us. And may each of us remember our power. May we remember the truth of who it is that we really are. May we remember that in each of the moment that we sometimes become ashes, that we too can resurrect, that we can stand up again in our power, no matter what we've been through, no matter what we are going through. May we always remember that we too can resurrect, that we can rise again. And our rising comes from the ashes. It comes from us remembering that it is through our pain sometimes that we actually become the most evolved, most compassionate, most enlightened version of ourselves. May we always remember this. And may we drop into our hearts to remember the truth of who it is that we really are. And so I'm going to be silent now for about 60 seconds, and I invite you to welcome in your own personal prayer now. And that might be a prayer for your heart. It might be a prayer for a religious prayer. It could be any prayer that you want to welcome in. And I invite you into that now. God, Spirit, Universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, we thank you. Thank you for bringing this community together. May every word that is spoken here today by me, through me, and also in the chat box by everybody here, be used for the transformation, resurrection, and benefit of us all. Thank you for bringing us back. So it is. Ashe, Aho, Salam, Shalom, Amen, Satnam, Awen, Om. Thank you. Let us begin. Let us begin. So here we are, family. Here we are today with a session that I have been so excited to share with you. And the reason this is so important is because, here at the Kingdom, especially for those of you who are new, it's really important that you know when you are here, and I know this is a little small, what we believe here at the Kingdom. And I won't share this every time anymore, but I want to make sure that all of you know what we really believe in here is that all beliefs are welcome here. All biologies are welcome here. We believe in the power of music and art to open our hearts and our minds. We believe that wisdom can come from many places. So I'll be using teachings and lessons from many different traditions that will come into play. And we also believe in an expanded definition of self, knowing that we're connected to one another and all of nature, even as we're different. And we don't just honor or tolerate each other's differences here at the Kingdom, but we know that we're stronger because of them and we rise together. And so when we come together in the power of, which this session is all about, the real you, the power of the real you, this is where the magic starts to happen in our lives and in the world. And so today's session, I want to tell you, much of today's session has come from many things that I've learned throughout my life, but a big piece of today's session is inspired by a new book that I had the absolute honor and gift of being able to read early before it came out. It comes out on May 10th, and it's Michael Singer's new book. He wrote Untethered Soul, The Surrender Experiment, and his next book is called Living Untethered. And it got sent to me a little while back to write an endorsement for the book. And, I thought, okay, I'll read it. How cool. They invited me to, write an endorsement for Michael Singer. And I opened this book, y'all. It's in my backpack. I have been carrying this book in my backpack since December. It goes with me everywhere because I kid you not, this book has changed my life dramatically. And y'all know I don't say that lightly. And his book, Living Untethered, that is coming out, I feel so passionate about it that I've made it required reading for everybody in our teacher training. I've already pre-ordered it as a gift for so many of my family members. I've read it several times already, and I thought there is nothing more important that I could teach on our first session coming back to the Kingdom than something that I really understood on a deeper level from Living Untethered. And so I want to read to you all the endorsement that I wrote for Michael Singer's book, and this is an image of what you can find on the Amazon page. It's so crazy to see my name on Michael Singer's Amazon page. I'm still in awe of that. But I want to tell you the truth of what I feel about this book and really honor it, because much of what I'm teaching today comes from this book. And so what I wrote for the endorsement is, Michael A. Singer has created another masterpiece. In a time when we need spirituality to make a practical impact, Living Untethered hits the mark. Singer has created a union of science and spirituality that helps us understand the truth of who we really are. If you are feeling stuck in any area of your life, this book will be a godsend. Living Untethered makes practical, tangible use of spirituality such that we can transform our lives and transform our relationship to every facet of the world around us. This is a book of liberation. Free yourself from yourself. Read each page with wonder as you open to a new way of being that will, for certain, change your life. And I want to make sure you all know, and I want to be very clear about this, that I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm getting no benefit from selling his book. I'm not getting any kickback from his book. It has just been that important pressing through me that I share some of these teachings with you. And what's really important to understand is these teachings, I don't think some of the way Michael explains them make them ground in a way that are so practical. But a lot of these teachings are things we've heard before, but you go when you read this book, you're like, oh, I get it now. And so I wanted to bring some of that practical application along with some of my experiences engaging with this work over the last few months to you, so you can get kickstarted on the learning. And then I hope, you all will have an experience in your life with this. So let us begin, all right? So the main question that we are exploring today with this topic is, who are you? Who are you? Anybody have any ideas? If you could type that into the chat box, I actually want to see what y'all say. So when I say, who are you? And you answer that question, what comes up for you? Let me see what you say. Okay. And this is a really important question to think about, because sometimes we are not actually sure how to answer that question, which is why I see y'all are responding quite slowly here today. And what we know, however, okay, is that there is a you. And some of you have these ideas. You say, Mary Teresa says pure energy. Kalani says creativity or creative. Elka, I'm a gift from the divine. Cheryl, I am I. My mom says, I am your mama. You'll see how I come to that later today, Mom. The energy of love, Lori. A work in progress, Karina. Alonzo, I think got it right. Alonzo goes, child, I don't know. Laura, no freaking clue. Breath and heart, part of a bigger whole. So let's see how we can explore this a little bit more together. So one of the things that we have to agree upon to even get started with this is that we know that there is a you in there. And this is like Michael Singer's main kind of thing that he starts with, okay? Like, we know, we have to agree that there's a you in there. And we all kind of get that there's a you in there, right? Like if I walked up to you and I said, hey, are you in there? You would say, yes, like I'm in here. And if you said, no, I'm not in there, that would be weird, because then how would you know, where would you be? How would you be responding, right? So he kind of starts the book in that way, which is amazing. But a way that I can show you this as a clear example is that we know that there's a you in there because you know that you're here. There's a you that knows that you're here, right? And so you'll see this is going to be a little philosophical at first, but we're going to ground it really clearly, I promise. And it's going to help shake this up for you as we're talking about resurrecting on this day. So I'm going to do this example that Michael talks about in his book. I'm going to show you a few photos, okay? So here's a picture at the beach. Look at the beach. You see it. All right, great. And then here's this picture of this little girl, right? Okay, cool. So we see the picture of the little girl. You see it? Great. And now here's a picture of the Easter Bunny, which I thought was appropriate for today. All right, you see it? Yes, right? Okay, so sounds simple, but it is obvious as I'm showing you these three pictures. What's important for you to know, right, is that even though the photos changed, was it the same you who experienced all three photos? That's my question for you. Was it the same you who experienced all three? Yes. It's obvious that you are not the photographs. The pictures changed and you stayed the same. So who is that you in there that stayed the same? Because you are not the photographs. Obviously, we know that that's something outside of yourself. So we're defining that. Okay, there are things out there. But then there's us. And even though it's obvious when you see the photographs that you know you're not the photographs, there are some other things that are exactly the same thing as seeing a photograph of an Easter bunny, but that we identify with more and think they're us, but they're not. And these things are your thoughts, your body, your emotions, and many of your titles. And we're going to explore and kind of decolonize and decouple some of this today so we can get closer, get to the essence of who it is that you really are. And for those of you who are new to the kingdom, know that our sessions are usually about 75 to 90 minutes, somewhere in there, all right? So that's kind of what you can expect in our time together, as well as the Kingdom podcast is out, and obviously all the replays are there. So I said, even though you saw these photographs, you knew that you were not the Easter bunny, you were not the ocean, you were not those things. So why is it that with our thoughts and the things that we think, or with our body, or with our emotions, or with our titles, we sometimes think that we're those things? And some of you say, well, I know that I'm not my thoughts, but let's check out how this works, all right? So let's start with, we're going to break these down step by step. Let's start with, you are not your thoughts. Okay? You are not your thoughts. So I want you to try something really quick. Close your eyes. We're going to do this as a practice in action. Close your eyes. And this is a practice that I heard Oprah talk about once, but we're changing it just slightly. So if you're comfortable closing your eyes, please do. And then think about a red triangle. Great, you got it in your head? Awesome. Now let that go and think about an orange house. Imagine an orange house in your head. You got that? Great, now think about your mother. Just imagine her in your mind, whatever you know of your mother. If you don't know your mother, you can think of someone else in your life. Now think about your shoes, any pair of shoes that you have. Great. Now continuing on, think, I'm stupid. Just think it for a second. It'll feel harsh to some of you, but just think it. I'm stupid. Then let that go, just like you let the orange house and your mom and the red triangle go, and then think, I'm fat. And then let that go, and think, I'm not that good of a singer. And then let that go, and then think of whatever the version of I'm not enough that you have for yourself. The things that we sometimes tell ourselves that we can't do, or the limiting belief that you have on your own self. Just think it for a second. And then let that go. And now think of some of the positive things you tell about yourself. I'm cute. I'm smart. I have a nice body. I don't have whatever it is. I'm nice. I'm loving. I'm caring. Just think about all those things. Whatever a nice thing is, and then let that go. So open your eyes, and what's important here is, why is it obvious that when you think of the red triangle, you know that's not you? When you think of an orange house, you know that's not you. When you think of your mom or your shoes, you know that's not you. But when you think, I'm stupid, or when you think I'm fill in the blank, all of a sudden we think that's true and that's you, and that it has anything to do with you. When your mind is just creating the thought that thinks the thing, as well as I'm smart, I have a nice body, I have this, I have that. None of that is actually defining you, right? So you're not any of those things. Those things are just thoughts that come up in your head, but certain thoughts we believe in more than others, and we believe they are defining us, and we believe they are true based upon our trauma and our conditioning and our past, even though they're just as random, maybe programmed in, as thinking about a red triangle. So why is it that certain thoughts come up and we believe they're true about us, and other thoughts come up and we know that they're not, when all of them are actually just the same thing? They're all just thoughts. And I see Kalani saying, my shoes are totally me. I think Sarah Jessica Parker would agree. Carrie Bradshaw. So let's try one more thing, all right? Close your eyes again if you're comfortable doing so. You can always do these with your eyes open if you need to. And then very quickly, again, imagine a red triangle. Let it go. Imagine an orange house. Let it go. Imagine a $10 bill. Let it go. Who is the you that knows that you're even thinking these thoughts? Who is the you in there that knows that you're even thinking these thoughts? That is the you that we're trying to get more in touch with. There is a you back there, in there, that knows that you are even having these thoughts. Otherwise, you wouldn't even know that the thoughts were there. So there are the thoughts passing through. I am this, the red triangle, this is happening, that's happening. But there is a you back there that knows that these thoughts are even occurring. The awareness that they're happening, that is the you. And how do we know that you're not your thoughts? Because there's a you in there that knows that you're thinking the thoughts. Who is that you? That's what we're getting closer in touch with. Let's continue, my friends. You are not your body. Now, when you hear these comments, right, you're like, I know I'm not my body. I know I'm not my thoughts. But you see how we say, we know I'm not my this, and I know I'm not my that, but then certain thoughts, oh wait, actually, I do think that sometimes, right? So we gotta, these spiritual concepts that feel like Instagram memes sometimes, like, I am not my body, I am not my life, I am not. We gotta break this down to really see where we are out of alignment with what some of these spiritual truths actually are. So you are not your body. Let's get to this one because this is a fun one to talk about. So when we talk about you are not your body, there's this fun way that Michael describes it in the book. And it talks about it this way. So there is a you that you looked at yourself in the mirror, right? You looked at yourself in the mirror when you were 12 years old. Okay? Then you looked at yourself in the mirror when, let's say, you were in your early 20s. And then there's a you that is in your body right now. And God willing, there will be a you that looks in yourself in the mirror when you're 60 or 70 or 80 or 90. And your body will have changed. Obviously, the body that you're in when you were 12 is not the same body you have now. But wasn't it you looking at you the whole time? Wasn't there a you that experienced you being 12 and you being 20 and you being whatever age you are now and you being whatever age is to come? Isn't there a you that has experienced you being all of those ages? So who is that you that was looking at you the whole time? Because those versions of you when you were 12 or when you were skinny or when you were fat or when you were this or when you were young or when you were older, when you were this, when you were married or when you were this, those versions of you are all gone. Like literally the cells of your body are all gone and renewed. But there is a you that knows that has been you at all of those ages. Who is that you? And to go further with this concept of you not being your body, think about it this way. People go into comas or have near-death experiences all the time. We have stories about this that we've heard forever and come back to tell us about what they've experienced. We have dreams at night, right? We have dreams at night and we come back and say, I had a dream about this. So there is a you somewhere out there that is having these experiences. There is a you, even in a coma, that can come back and talk about it. There is a you that can die and have a near-death experience and come back and talk about it. Who is that you? When we get in touch with that you, this is where our power begins. Let's go to the next one. Y'all with me right now? I know this is a little philosophical, but we're getting into it. Y'all following me today? Cool. So, continuing on, you are not your emotions. You are not your emotions. Okay? And this you are not your emotions is incredibly important to understand. And the reason why this is so important to understand is because emotions are like weather. So this is something that I've been talking about for years, and many of you have taken my programs or courses like the 40 days or whatever. We talk about this, right? Like weather changes. Weather changes all the time. A storm goes by, where I was just at, it was hailing yesterday, it's sunny today. Some cities are more stormy than others. Like in San Francisco in the morning, it's typically foggy, but in LA in the morning, if you're by the beach, it's foggy. If you're not by the beach, it isn't. In Bali in the morning, it's never foggy. Like some cities have different weather forecasts, and storms will pass by and you'll get different weather, different days. And our emotions are our internal weather forecast. And some of us have internal weather that's a little more San Francisco, a little more foggy and gloomy in the mornings, a little nicer in the afternoon, a little, and it changes day by day. Sometimes we have massive storms come through. Sometimes there's a full-on hurricane and a tornado coming through us. And we oftentimes identify with those emotions like they are us, like we are the ones who are these experiences versus them just being the weather passing by us. And there being an us that is in the center of the storm, the us that knows that we're having an emotion. And when you know you're having an emotion, it allows you to experience the emotion without getting lost in the emotion. It allows you to experience grief or sadness or happiness or joy and let it come up without attaching to it because you are not that emotion in the first place. And so one of the thoughts that I came to was like this experience of how we even say what we're feeling. So if we want to be really technical about it, we'll say something like, I am sad. I am sad. But that's not actually true. You're not sad. You are experiencing the weather internally, the forecast of sadness. You're not sad. You are experiencing sadness. There is a you in there that is experiencing you being sad. And in a few moments, that you in there is going to experience you being something else. And then we're going to be either happy or unhappy with what we think we're supposed to be experiencing versus anchoring into the you that is inside of us that has the opportunity to experience the emotions that are coming up. And so in this case, the way that you know you're not your emotions is because you are the one who is in there who knows that you're having an emotion. This is the key, this separation. So I wrote this little thing out. It's just, I am not my thoughts. I am the one who is experiencing these thoughts. I am not my body. I am the one who is experiencing this body. There is a you that is experiencing your body right now, being in this moment. Your stomach's upset, you're this, you're that, your arm feels like this, your face feels like this. There's a you that is experiencing you having a body. But you're not the body, like we discussed. So I am not my emotions. I am the one who is experiencing these emotions. And just like this, similarly, the last of these kind of making sure we really get the point, we're really understanding the point of doing this right now is separating some of these things that we sometimes think we are. And the last one here, I'm going to turn the music down for this one, is you are not your titles. You are not your titles. So let me describe this one very clearly, okay? With this concept of your titles, you are not a mom. You, the real you, is the one who gets to experience being a mom. You are not a singer, an actor, a dancer, a whatever you are, an uncle, an aunt, a grandma. You are the one who gets to experience what it's like to sing. You are the one who gets to experience whatever it is that I am. So I'm laughing because my mom said, when I said, what are you? She goes, I'm your mom. I'm like, no, you're not. I mean, yes, you are, but that's not who you are, right? You are the one who gets to experience being that. And how do we know that? Because there was a you in there. There was a you in there before you were any of those things. There was a you in there before you were any of those things. So when we think about this, we can really understand all the things that we tie ourselves to in a different way. And this opens us up in a powerful way to the real truth of who it is that we really are. Because you are not your race. You are not Black. You are not white. You are not Latina. You are not a woman. You are not a man. You are not queer. You are not transgender. You are not any of those things that we attach so tightly to. You are the one who gets to experience being those things. You are the one who gets to experience being Black, experience being gay, queer, this, a woman, a man. There is a you in there that has no gender, there is a you in there that knows, that is having this experience right now. And so why is it that we know we're not the red triangle when we think it or when we see it, but when we look at our skin, and mine's brown, we say, I'm Black. Even though when I see a red triangle, I'm not saying I'm red. They're all just objects that we are experiencing. So who is that you? Who is that you? And the thing is, we project ourselves onto things that are not the self. And the true spiritual path, as Michael Singer so beautifully says in his book, is coming back to what many teachers have called the seat of the self, is releasing our attachment and identification to the things that we think we are that we're not, and coming back to and acting from the seat of the self. And so we had this beautiful thing Allison just said, right? And isn't it amazing to get to experience these things? And that's when life turns into a wonder. Isn't it amazing that I get to experience being in this body? Isn't it amazing that I get to experience whatever this is in front of me right now, this grief, this emotion, this power. And when you can sit back into the self as an experiencer of the experience in front of you, like Diane's saying, the big capital S self, then we have a shift in our understanding of the world. Now, what's really important here, and I want to be very clear here, is this is not some we are all one bullshit. That's not what I'm doing. What spirituality is also about is holding and understanding paradox. Paradox. And this is even a part of what the resurrection is about, right? Is this concept of fully understanding that there's a part of us that has to die for us to actually be reborn into who it is that we really are. And this concept of paradox is understanding two things to be true at the same time. So while it is true that there is a you in there experiencing these things, it is also amazing that you get to be in the world as somebody who is an experiencer of these things. So it's not saying, oh, it doesn't matter that you're Black, it doesn't matter that you're queer, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that there is a you in there that is experiencing these things, and that's something we can't argue, because if there wasn't, you wouldn't even know that you were the thing. Right? So this is a really important lesson. And so why is it, right? This is so amazing. Allison saying, again, here, Allison coming with the cues. She says, I do wonder, though, about why do we want to claim certain identities? Why do I want to claim, oh, I'm mixed, or I'm this, or I'm this, or I'm that, versus knowing that we are just the one who gets to be in the experience of the thing. All right. Okay, so this is really the magic. And the question becomes, with our resurrection day, is who are you? Who are you? And are you willing to let go of who you thought you were? Because who you thought you were is not who you are. Who you thought you were is clearly not who you are. Michael Singer inspired quote there. I don't remember if that's the exact quote from his book, but it's something pretty much like that. Are you willing to let go of who you thought you were to become who you were meant to be? When you can sit back and be the one who is experiencing it, you can move from the space of your soul. You can make actions from the space of your higher self. You can take actions from the place of your spirit instead of your trauma. When you could sit back and say, oh, I am the one who is experiencing feeling like I'm not enough right now. I'm the one who's experiencing me not wanting to do this right now because I'm afraid. But I am not that fear. I am something unshakable and immovable that even lasts through near-death experiences, that can resurrect. And so then fear comes up and you can recognize it and let it come like the weather and step forward onto the path that you're meant to be on and take action anyways. You can get out of your own way because there is a you in there that is experiencing you getting in the way. And what we have to really understand, and this is what we're going to talk about in a future session, it won't be our next one, is then what happens, right? What happens is with life when we get unhappy is when we then think that, oh, that thing that's out there that I'm experiencing out there doesn't match my preferences or what I think it should be. And this is what Michael really goes into his book. Okay? And when we think now, oh, that red triangle I see, I don't want it to be red, I want it to be orange. Oh, that emotion that's coming through, I don't want it to be sad, I want it to be happy. Oh, that thing that I have, oh, that body that I'm experiencing, I want it to be this. Then we're unhappy. And the whole concept of his book, I'm sure there's many concepts, but one that I really took away is nothing can make you happy if you are so busy making yourself unhappy in there. Nothing can make you happy if you are so busy making yourself unhappy in there. So how are we going to choose? Where are we going to anchor into? And Rebecca asked a really beautiful question. What do we do with the feelings and emotions, the pain, the guilt, the helplessness? So a lot of people will think, and this is where, so I want to go here? Yes, I'm going to go here. So a lot of people will think that, oh, because I am the one that is unshakable in there, they spiritually bypass it and pretend like that means that we don't get to engage with life, that we don't get to engage with it. But here's what happens when we think we're the grief, when we think we're their emotions, when we think we're the sadness, when we think we're the pain. We actually don't get to work with the pain. If we don't separate ourselves from the pain, if you don't realize that you are the you witnessing the pain, then you can't work with the pain because you can't work with something that you are. There needs to be a little separation to go, this is me. This is the real me. This is the higher self. And here is the pain. Here is the grief. Okay, baby, what do I want to do with you? How can I engage with you? You can't see things for what they are when you're not anchored in who you are. So when you anchor into who you are, you can be present with what shows up. Doing this, people use this concept of there being a you in there to spiritually bypass everything, to go, there's a me in there, so it's all love and light, and I don't have to worry about anything, and namaste, and we are all one. That is bullshit. That is spiritual bypassing. When you realize there is a you in there, that is not any of the things that are coming up, what you then have the opportunity to do is to show up in service of what's in front of you, instead of what your mind is telling you is in front of you, instead of what your emotions are telling you is in front of you. You are able to, the you, capital Y-U, capital S self, is able to show up for what's in front of you and engage with it from a centered, grounded place. So this is what you do with it. This is what you do with it. Does that make sense? So I know this is like, for some of y'all, you're going to be right here. And for some of y'all, you're like, poof, right? This is how I was reading the book, actually. And so just sit with this, right? Because again, we can sit with the thoughts and the feelings and we can observe them first as separating ourselves from them. And then we get to engage with them versus them taking over us. What happens to so many of us is because we get wrapped up in our thoughts, we get wrapped up in our emotions, we get so spun out in the tornado, we can't actually show up for them or work with them because we're lost in them. And so even if you sit in meditation and all you did, like listen to this very clearly, okay? If all you did sitting in meditation was sit and observe your thoughts, sit and go, and then this is when a lot of y'all say, oh, I can't meditate because I can't do this. If you try to sit in meditation and the whole meditation, all you were doing was like, oh my God, I'm annoyed, I'm irritated, I'm sad, okay, I'm thinking this, I have my to-do list, I have this thing to do, I'm so mad about this, I don't understand this meditation sucks, my knee hurts. That's a win. Why? Because at least you sat and separated yourself from those thoughts and observed them. Normally those thoughts come up. I'm fat, I'm this, I have this to do, I'm so stressed, my knee hurts, and we just get lost in them. We just get lost in them. So at least if you're sitting and meditating, even if you sat and meditated and just were thinking the whole time, at least you practice separating yourself from the thoughts themselves, knowing that you're something else. And so I'm so grateful that some of you typed in this quote here, okay, that is so important because that's really what this is all about, is being able to show up in service of what is actually in front of you instead of getting lost in the sauce and showing up as the real you. All right, friends. You are not the tornado, mama. You are not the tornado. You are that which even knows that a tornado exists. Let's drop into that you. We are going to do a short practice together. And I want you to just give yourself permission to let this practice be whatever it is. Some of you are going to have some big experience with the practice. Some of you will not have an experience with the practice. Some of you will be more confused after the practice. Some of you will be less confused. Just let it be what it is. We were having a conversation here last night that you're not ready till you're ready. And not being ready doesn't mean you're not enough. It just means it's not like a hierarchy. It's like some things we want to know, but we're actually not ready to fully know. We're ready to get to this stage of it so that we can then integrate it and learn what's in the next stage. So know and give yourself permission to just be where you are. Let's practice. I invite you to just find a comfortable way to sit. Drop your shoulders, and I want you to just get super comfortable. You don't actually even need to look at me for this. You just can get cozy. Don't lay down, but just get Netflix comfortable. Not like meditation comfortable, church comfortable. Get Netflix comfortable. Sit back, drop your shoulders, and place your hands down on your thighs or down towards your thighs somewhere with your palms facing up. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. If you like to keep them open, that's also fine, but just kind of keep your gaze down towards your hands or your floor so you don't get too distracted. And on the count of 3, exhale everything out of your system through your nose. 1, 2, 3. Exhale everything out through the nose if you can. Now, with me, inhale for the count of 3 for 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3. Again, inhale deeply 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3. Last time. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Hold for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Hold it out for 1, 2, 3. And now just breathe normally. And sometimes in that holding out of the breath, you can even try it a few times on your own, we can feel that sense of spaciousness between our thoughts, our emotions. We can feel that sense of dropping into there's something else there. So you can try holding out your breath a few times on your own. All right. So right now, I want you to become aware of all the sounds that are happening around you. Tune your awareness to the experience of sound. Take in the furthest sounds away. Take in the closest sounds to you. And take in the sounds that your body is making. And now bring your awareness to taste. And taste whatever flavor is in your mouth right now. It could be whatever you ate before, just the taste of your saliva. You could even lick your lips. And now bring your awareness to the experience of smell. So breathing a little more deeply and just smelling what's around you. In this moment. Great. And now bring your awareness to the experience of physical sensation. So start by noticing the temperature touching your skin. Notice that certain parts of the skin are warmer than others if they're covered by something. Notice the sensation of whatever your body is sitting or standing on and what that feels like when the surfaces connect. And now bring your awareness, we started on all this external, inside. And notice any physical sensations in your body. Any tension, any looseness, just welcome it without needing to do anything about it. And notice that you are the one who is experiencing these sensations. You are not the sensation. You are the one who is experiencing the sensation. Who is that you? And now notice your thoughts. Your mind might be pretty still right now, or it could be racing. Just notice the thoughts that come. I'll be silent for a moment. And be aware of the thoughts. Just watch them. Without needing to stop them, just watch them. And now notice your emotional quality right now in this moment. Not in any previous moment, just notice how you feel right now, the weather in you right now, around you right now. And notice that the emotions that you're feeling are the weather that is around you right now. You might even imagine what it is like for this weather to be around you, not you, but that you are witnessing, experiencing the weather that is around you, in you right now. And now energetically step back from yourself. Just take an internal step back and watch all of this unfold. I like to even imagine, like literally, like I took a step back just outside of myself. And then I get to be the one witnessing this body, watching and witnessing these thoughts, witnessing the emotions. So just internally, step back. Some of you will step back above yourself, behind yourself, still in yourself. Just let it be right. And sit for a moment in this experience. Don't force it, just notice. Step back. This is you. The you that gets to experience what it's like to be you. This you is unshakable, is immovable, is glowing. This is the real you. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. And you can come back into yourself and welcome that you back into your body. You can even sometimes like to imagine taking a step forward and making sure I'm back here. And take a breath in and a breath out. And open your eyes and be really tender with yourself right now, because that can be a really deep experience. And I want you all to remember that when you're having any experience in your life that even becomes overwhelming or stressful or whatever it is, that cue, step back. It's not step back to step away. It's step back to remember that you are not it. You are the one who is experiencing it. And so now, being that one with a capital O, how do I want to show up for it? Whatever it is. Your grief, your relationship, your sorrow, your job, your joy, your body, your pain, your work, your romance, your song, your art, how do you, the real you, want to show up in service of the moment in front of you? I'd like for you all to type a word in the chat box to describe what you felt in that practice. Laura, I'm holding you. Don't worry. Don't make this wrong. I see what Laura typed in the chat box. It's all good. So just a word in the chat box to describe what your experience was. And remember that whatever experience you had today is enough. This practice is one that deepens and deepens and deepens. And the more you practice stepping back, the more you get it. It's not one of these teachings sometimes that you get right away, right? But we get it by living it. I love these words. You felt vulnerable, amazing, calm, known, observation, whole, calm, peace, compassion, exhilarated, overwhelmed, uncertain, relief, peace, deficit. Wow, so experience of stepping back helped me understand how the idea of self-compassion, the real me saw the drama of all the emotion inside of me that I was experiencing. Yes, this is how self-compassion, you step into the self to have compassion for what you're experiencing. This is what it is. Unchanging, observant, trust, awakening, open, amazing, Sandy, confident, different. So just let this unfold in you today. And I want to end us here. We do this in every session with a golden nugget because we covered a lot today. Okay? So just take a second and place your hands over your heart and you may just thank and love on everybody who's here in the chat box, and place your hands over your heart and take a full breath in and a breath out. And we covered so much today, from your thoughts, to your body, to who are you, to your titles, to your emotions, to the practice, to all the things. What would be your one main takeaway from this practice today? If you could pick one main takeaway from today's practice, what would your one main takeaway be? And just think about that a few times to get it into your long-term memory. This is something that I learned from Shauna Shapiro. It takes about 30 seconds to get something in the long-term memory. And here at the Kingdom, our commitment at every session is very simple. Everybody in the world can't be here at the Kingdom. We hope they can, but everybody can't. And so your job this week, today, if you can, is just to share one thing that you learned with somebody in your life. Whether that's posting it on social media. If you do, of course, tag me so I can repost you. But even just a friend or a family member, your kids, and you don't have to teach them something. You don't have to be the expert at it. Just share what you know. Share what you learned. And in this way, we spread the message out in the world. One of my greatest teachings that I got from one of my early teachers, Saul David Ray, was don't ever teach, just share what you know. And so if there was something that you experienced today, share it with somebody, because you never know what's going to wake up in that conversation and connection. So I'd love for everybody to type in the chat box their golden nugget, and I'm going to welcome Theo to come back in here for our last song together. I like him shockingly feeling like we should do Lovely Day. I don't know though.
Oh, really?
What do you think?
Let's do it.
Should we?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do a surprise for y'all. So let's see all the golden nuggets coming in. the golden nuggets coming in. We have immense gratitude that you got to experience yourself, be the observer, feeling like yourself. The realization, Jessica, that you're not your thoughts or your emotions. They don't control you. They are simply like the weather. They come and go. Christ consciousness, nurturing, I need help, step back, step back. Stepping back to a space beside myself allows me to love me. Amazing. Encouragement. I am not my experiences. These experiences are not me. Amazing. So yes, the contents of the chat will continue to be here for the replays that you will be able to get if you come back to this page. Otherwise, on the YouTube videos, they will not. And your action that I want you all to take with you, okay, as we really close out here on this concept, is when you're in your life. So this is the action. Listen very carefully. When you are in your life today and you're having any experience, not just a bad experience, but it could be a bad experience. When you're having any experience, take a moment and step back. And remember that there is a you in there that is having this experience. And you can ask yourself, what and why? Well, first of all, why am I having this experience? And then you can ask yourself, how can I best show up? I with a capital I. How can I best show up in service of this moment? Not from your trauma, not from your pain, from the you with a capital Y that is in there, the real you. And this is the power of the self. This is the power of the self. So, I love you all. Soul Study starts this Wednesday, so make sure you go to the link, which I'll put in the chat box again. Soul Study starts this week, and we'll be deepening on these concepts together that we covered today, so you can see how to implement them into your life. And let us end with a song. Now, I just switched it up on Theo. So we've been working on a new song together that Theo wrote, and then I popped in on and collaborated a little bit. Do you have the bridge? Okay, cool. And it's called Lovely Day. I think it's perfect for this. So should we do it?
Let's do it.
Okay, I was gonna not do it because we're not putting it out quite yet, but I thought maybe y'all would love this song as we open up on this beautiful day. So Theo, you want to talk about Lovely Day for a second? I think it goes with our teaching massively today.
It's just a song about when we feel connected to life, when we feel connected to that true essence. And I wrote it when I was like driving and traveling. I was on my way to like a really fun adventure, and I just felt really in myself and in my voice, which is when I feel most alive and most joyful. And when you're in that place, when I'm in that place, I just feel like so connected to the beauty of life, so connected to the trees and the nature. I was driving through the mountains, and I was like just blown away by this world that we get to be a part of. And when you're in that space, it's a lovely day. And then this song came through, and it was just...
It aligns so much with what we're talking about today, because when you tap into that space of the real you, then you can experience whatever the experience is and be almost in awe that you can even be having this experience. And one of the things Michael Singer says in his book, which I hope you all get, is this idea that even if you're experiencing whatever you're experiencing, literally billions of years of the universe had to align for this one moment to end up in front of you. Think of all the things that had to happen from your ancestors and this person meeting this person and this person meeting this person, this person driving here and coming here for you to have this moment right now in front of you. Wow. And that's how it can be a lovely day. So let's try it.
All right.
Just quick glance here. Okay. We'll stay in unison, yeah?
All right.
Okay, cool. Thank you. A new one coming soon, y'all. This is a lovely day. lovely day, and I am on my way to love again. And every breath I take, I'm opening, oh yeah, to let it in, oh yeah. On the road, destination, life. On the road, I forgot the words. Let me try that again. Ready? On the road, destination, life. Out the window, open sky. I got so many reasons why I feel alright. This is a lovely day, and I am on my way to love again. And every breath I take, I'm opening, oh yeah, to let it in, oh yeah, let it in, 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 let it in. I'm opening, oh yeah, to let it in, oh yeah. Up the mountain I will climb, family right by my side, and I got everything I need to fly with my wings so wide. Sing with us, everybody, come on. It's a lovely day, and I am on my way to love again. And every breath I take, I'm opening, oh yeah, to let it in, oh yeah. Here we go. And I'm never gonna know what's coming down that road, but I see flowers blooming everywhere I go. And I don't know where I'm headed, but the sun is on my skin, and I feel so good that I don't need to know. It's a lovely day, come on, lovely day, and I am on my way to love again. And every breath I take, I'm opening, oh yeah, to let it in, oh yeah. Come on, let it in, just let it in. You can let it in, you can let the goodness in. Let it in, 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 let it in. I'm opening, oh yeah, to let it in, oh yeah. Kingdom family, we love you. We hope you let it in as we have a lovely day. Give it up for Theo here for joining us today. That song will be coming out eventually. I'm putting all the links in the chat box right now that we mentioned today, from choir to soul study to checking out some of Theo and Theo's music to applying for our communications director role. I love you all. This is the kingdom, where we explore the power of what it means to be alive, and we rise together. We will close out with a closing prayer. God, Spirit, universe, all that is, all that ever has been, and all that ever will be, we thank you for bringing us together in this moment. Thank you for our incredible community, for the technology that brings us together, for Theo and his incredible voice and wisdom that is coming through the music, the guitar, for all of you coming here in this space of learning, growth, love, and transformation. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Soul Study starts this Wednesday. Ashe, Aho, Salam, Shalom, Amen, Satnam, Awen, Om. Thank you. So it is. Bye, Kingdom family. I love you. Mwah. Happy Easter.